Okay, Test of Valor number 4. It's on this chapter that we're on currently, chapter 6. We have 50 rocket launchers to slay and then 50 marionette demons. XXY will stun these guys. It takes 3 XXYs to put them into... Well, actually, excuse me, they do not go into OT status. Definitely come here with the Inferno up to level 3 because you can kill... I don't believe that one Inferno will directly kill the marionette demons, but it will kill the rocket launcher enemies. So XXY, it stuns them, and then you have to make... You see that? I wasn't guarding right there, so I got damaged significantly. The marionettes are by far more dangerous. I mean, they will twirl across the screen in like a spear attack and hit you, and depending on your health, you will be dead. I go through all of my items here to do this Test of Valor, which took me far fewer tries than the previous Test of Valor, but it was no less frustrating, especially when I got to have one marionette. I killed 99 enemies, but I had that one damn marionette left, and she slashed at me, and I got killed. So, okay, what you want to do here is use all of your Inferno right away. And then make sure you apply the Spirit of the Devils before you use your Talisman of Rebirth, because there's no sense of getting revived by the Talisman of Rebirth and it only giving you 3 when it could give you 4, because one Inferno is going to take out 3. So if you have 3 slots in your key gauge, that's going to take out 3 times. That would be 9. And then if you have 4 in your, if you have 4 slots in your key gauge, 4 flames in your key gauge, that is, you're going to take out 12 enemies. And the more the more essence you collect. This is mostly about luck, because you know that old saying, "There's no accounting for luck." There's not any here. You can't account for if you're going to get lucky and get more Nimpo drops. You know the Nimpo essence, the red Nimpo essence. Like, if you get a lot of those drops, your victories are going to increase exponentially here, because Nimpo is power here. Okay, so take out these guys with XXY, and if you see a marionette, what you don't want to be doing is hitting a rocket launcher enemy in the vicinity of the marionette. So you see them, you go to the other side of the screen, or you just go somewhere to the other rocket launcher enemy. So right here, I'm just... applying all my items, and watch out for that attack. Really have to be careful. This is, I mean, okay, so spoiler alert, the reward for doing this is a Lives of the 1,000 Gods, but there's no way I'm going to save my data after this and continue with my campaign in view of the fact that I had to use 4 Lives of the 1,000 Gods and all 9 of my Life of the Gods just to get 1 Lives of the 1,000 Gods. It's counterproductive. I'm not doing that. I just wanted to do these trials, get the achievement, have them incorporated in my guide, just so I could help people to beat them if they want to beat them, because you don't have to do these. They're completely optional. But I like to do things. I like to do everything in the game. So, I mean, some of the Tests of Valor are not as... a lot of them are just so laborious, and this requires so much... just doing the same thing over and over again. So, when you're casting the Inferno, you don't have to aim it. It'll target 3 enemies anyway. It's just that when you aim it, you're selecting whom you want to hit with the Inferno. I would say aim for the marionettes. It's better to get them out of the way than the rocket. See that attack? That's brutal. But that was not a... They could do even more hits with that. Trust me. Also, it's very imperative to have 30 arrows so we can start sniping the marionettes when these rocket launcher enemies are out of the way. Unfortunately, the incendiary shurikens have no function here whatsoever, because we're dealing with metallic enemies, and the incendiary shurikens just bounce off of these guys. But it's kind of ironic that the arrows would work, though, considering that. So here I'm just using all my Lives of the 1,000 Gods. A lot of people will say that this is the hardest Test of Valor. I think it's... For me, it wasn't as hard as the previous... I mean, This only took me several hours, but the previous test of Valor with the dogs and the Wolverines, that took me like 10 hours of just off and on. You know, every like an hour would be my session limit, and then I would just come back to it another time. But I know there was at least 10 sessions of 45 minutes to an hour of trying to do that last trial. So if you're getting worried that this is like the hardest trial, it depends on the individual. It's not going to just be the hardest trial just because some people say that it is. Anyway, so yeah, definitely always scrutinize the environment and look for the Nympho essence drops. It's kind of a bad. You see the environment, the little like the orange glowing things on the. I know this is probably something that everybody gets confused by. The little orbs in the background, those little circular orange things. I always get confused that those are the red essence drops, and I always get false hopes, like a mirage in the desert, like a pool of water in the desert when you're dying of thirst. It's the same situation here. It's war here, pure out war. But we're going to survive, and we're going to be warriors. Okay, so yeah, you see how I toss in the. It takes 2 Infernos to kill those bitches. Sorry to swear, but okay. Just make sure you're guarding when you get these guys stunned, and then this is kind of frustrating when you're pressing XXY and these guys, and then you're getting interrupted while pressing it because the rockets from the other machines are spewing their rockets at you. A lot of people also say that this is cheap and it see that bullshit. That's so bad right there. A lot of people say that this doesn't require skill. It does require managing your inventory and stuff like that, but there are some aspects of it that are, I mean, if you're getting a lot of essence drops, you're in really good hand. You're in really good shape. So, yeah, for me, the rocket launchers, I found no problems with the rocket launchers. It was just the marionette demons, killing all them, because you don't want to fight the marionettes with rocket launchers. So you really need to kill the rocket launcher enemies first. I mean, they have a lot less HP than the marionette demons, and they're not going to damage you as much as those demons do. Those gals that look like spiders. They're just more the rocket launchers are just more intimidating because you think that they would damage you more because they have guns. But this really reminds me of Ninja Gaiden 3. It's getting so much chip damage, it's not funny. But this game is still not even as bad as that game on this game's worst day. It's still a masterpiece compared to that piece of shit Ninja Gaiden 3 and Razor's Edge. Anyway, yeah, so when my health is full, why do I get a blue essence drop? That's bullshit. That's nice to get an essence drop when I need it, but I wish this game was a little bit more intelligent about knowing what you needed and giving you what you need, but maybe that's a conscious design choice for Master Ninja mode, because it's damn hard. So this looks like we're almost getting these rocket launcher guys killed. Got greedy there, didn't block. Okay, so now it's just marionette demons left. All we're going to do on these guys is snipe them until we run out of arrows. The 360 Lunar UT has more range, but sometimes it won't kill these guys. I believe a UT with the Lunar traditional UT will kill them. Make sure you do your OT, because sometimes they won't be dead. So you just got to watch out for that. And here I'm just blind firing, knowing that I can depend on the blind fire to get kills. Just kind of watch out where you're positioned. You don't want to get attacked off screen. It's really feels bad. Oh, that was fucking close. Hate when that happens. That's gonna happen to you a lot. But as enemies, I don't really mind these enemies too much because they're a really good source of money and they're easy to deal with UTs, except you have a lot at stake when you're this far into the test of Valor. So the sniping enemies. Now I'm going to use a lunar UT. Ooh. Mostly what they do, though, honestly, is that they'll fly across the screen and then they'll land right next to you. But don't always count on that because sometimes they'll land on you. It's just, in my experience, they land next to you. They don't hit you. They land. Excuse me. Need some water. They land right next to you. But if you see them flying in, just release the charge. Don't wait. Don't try to verify if they're going to land on you or next to you. 'Cause you're probably going to be dead. And I don't know why I have to finish them off with that OT right there. They should just be dead from the UT. So I'm kind of just managing my arrows, trying not to use too many, because I wanted to. The last time, the one time when I almost defeated this, I told you guys earlier in the video, I had killed 99 of the enemies, and I had one marionette demon left, no arrows, no Nimpo, and the fucking robotic bitch would not move out of this little arc that she was in, and I could not get over to her with any UTs, so I had to just go over to her and try to finish her off. And of course, she finished me off, and then I had wasted like 50 minutes of footage. So I said to myself, I'm not going to put myself in that position. I'm going to make sure I save at least 4 or 5 arrows so I can just take the last one out if she's going to spaz out and not come over to my charge. Because they're nothing doing. They're not hard when you're just fighting them, but when everything's on the line, they're the most dangerous thing you could possibly imagine. So, and it's not just enemy specific with that kind of reasoning. Whenever you have a lot at stake, you cannot make a mistake, or like I did, you'll die. Oh yeah, so a lot of times you'll get into that animation after one of your 360 UTs where they're doing their fire attack. All you need to do is press the Y button to finish them off. And wow, see upper dress, I was so close. It's hard also to distinguish if they're in OT status. It's kind of interesting. They become a little dirtier. You know, these dirty gals, but they get like dirt on them and dust and smoke residue from getting damaged. So it's pretty cool, actually. I wish more enemies did that. I mean, and if they're having smoke fumes drifting up from their heads, it's obvious that they're in OT status, but sometimes I'm running to them so quickly that if I verify it incorrectly, and I'm going up to them and he's just twirling his staff and not stabbing them for an execution, and I'm getting almost killed, that's where some risk really starts developing. So I had to release my charge right there because it wasn't, these gals were not coming over to me. So we got one smoker over to the right, a couple of these guys here. Now I'm going to use some arrow UTs. You'll get a lot of money for doing this trial, but I did not save my data. I'm not going to continue on my campaign with nothing left. It's just ridiculous, but at least I got the achievement, and it's pretty cool. Also, if anyone knows, I'm curious why they're called like it's like a number. It's like a number of a color, like 2 of blue or 3 of red or 4 of yellow. What does that mean? I have no idea. I tried to look it up, but I guess I wasn't looking in the right places. Anyway, if anyone knows about the what that is alluding to, I would be really grateful. So, see, we have to finish her off. I don't know if she would die customarily, but I don't want any, part of her alive. We need to finish these ladies off quickly. So I'm going to save all my arrows for the last marionette demon, which is going to be a while. And this is a long trial, so you've got to have a lot of stamina. And a lot of your attacks, it's just not going to connect it like that. That was just a failure of a Lunar UT-360. So she's edging close, and just make sure you're observing where the other two are. Just don't get distracted and focus on one when you could have another one flying off screen right over to you. But generally, if they're in the distance, they're not going to come over to you. You'll see them kind of making their way over to you with that flying attack that they do, that twirling attack, where they stake themselves into the ground. Here's a kind of a dangerous situation. I had to see if I had enough range for that UT to connect, and fortunately it did connect. Make sure I'm not sure if when they explode you need to guard. I would imagine that you do. It's like that for all the enemies in this game, so I don't see why it would be different for these guys. Anyway, just keep at it. We're mainly looking for these guys just to dwindle down in number. I'm going to finish this one off with an OT. Just get away from them. It's very imperative. See that right there? I don't know why that wasn't connecting. She must have been in OT status. But maybe she wasn't, you know? It's one of those things where I can't distinguish. It's just like with the water demons. I can't tell who's delimbed and who's not because their limbs don't have much definition and like sharp edges. Well, I shouldn't say that because they are all sharp edges, but their distinguishing features of their limbs, I can't tell when they're all in a group clustered around. But I think because they're red and maybe they're dripping red, I can't see. You know, with the gray ninjas, they're dripping red. It's easy to distinguish which guys are dripping blood. So I'm just looking for gals in the distance and just waiting for the time when I see one less, meaning that we're making these numbers decrease. So just don't take anything for granted. I mean, one of their spiral twirls across the screen, at my level of health, it would not kill me, but I would need to refill very promptly. I mean, I would have so little health left, it wouldn't be funny, and I'm sure it probably happens over here somewhere. Because I know I was getting really frantic at one point. But I mean, these enemies, you can basically let them come to you. It's pretty. I mean, it's not like they're the beastmen that from the last trial. And this is an enemy that you really have to get the feel of, and I do since I've played Sigma 2 and in this game so much that I'm very comfortable fighting this enemy. So let's see what they're doing. I was contemplating fast forwarding all this footage, but I said I'm not going to do that. I don't think people like that sometimes. Because these are such long videos, and I was just looking at the playlist for this video guide, and one of the videos from Chapter 3 is an hour and 52 minutes. Trust me, I don't sit in my chair for an hour and 52 minutes and then narrate. I do it in sessions, just very brief sessions. But I was behind, so I needed to finish this chapter up. And it looks like no one's coming to me yet. It's very dangerous when they're on both sides of you, especially when you can't see some of them. Like this was a very dangerous situation. It's dangerous because I can't see much, and also because if I release the charge and it doesn't kill anybody, I got to get the hell out of the way. So these are interesting tests of Valor. I don't believe that any are going to make me not ever like this game. This is a great game. I think it's probably my favorite game ever, even over God of War. And that's saying a lot because I love that series. But I don't know. The combat in this game it just feels a little like more to it than God of War. But I love God of War. That's still one of my favorite franchises of all time too. So remember, when you're in the midst of that electric attack, you're not getting damaged. You just need to press the Y button. It's actually nice when that happens because you know that you can just get the insta kill going for yourself. So chopped off her head. Oh, I didn't chop her head off. She was in OT status though. So how many are left? 3 still. Okay, we got 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so basically all I'm doing here is, like you've seen for the past 20-30 minutes of this trial, all I'm doing is just standing in one spot and then waiting for them to inch their way over to me, and then I'm releasing my charge. And if I have to finish them off, I'll just finish them off really quickly. It would be nice to have more arrows too, but 30 is the maximum number. It really gets crazy. I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. The decision about to not give the player infinite arrows. Okay, here, see that one to the right's creeping up. I'm not sure what the one on the left is doing. There she goes. It's nice when they're just about like that. So she's into OT status. Kill her. Now, how many do we have left? 2, 3? Oh, when I was playing this, I was just saying, God, just let there be 2 for once, not 3. Then I'll know that I just have to kill 2. Ooh, ow, look at that shit. Damn, fucking bitch. So many times getting this far and then getting torn to shreds by their attacks. This is a vicious enemy, it really is. I wanted to have the Talisman of Rebirth saved for this part, but things usually just worked out in such a way that these guys would usually get, ow, damn, that fucking damage. I did a video on my other channel on water demons. They take away about all your health and they'll leave you one little sliver left, and I called it that damage because there's this, I remarked on my Tomb Raider guide, which is no longer in existence, that there's this one dude who commented on my God of War 3 video, an uncommented version on my other channel, and one of the satyrs hit me and took away a huge amount of my health, and this one dude said, that damage. He didn't reference a time code, so I'm like, what are you talking about? And he's like when the satyr hit you. Oh, okay. And that was probably the funniest comment I've ever read on any of my comments, and I also said I would have given that guy a copy of God of War 3 if I had one, but I already had a little giveaway and I gave it to someone else who I don't think follows my channel anymore, but a lot of people come and go. A lot of good supporters too in this channel. Also, never be shy to comment, even if you don't know too much about the game. We're all ignorant of something. I don't know anything about Call of Duty or Dark Souls or, anything like that. But it wouldn't stop me from commenting if I found something funny or if I was curious about something. And somebody also asked today, they said they prefaced their question and they said, this is probably going to sound stupid. And I said, no, man, I don't call people stupid. It's not like me. It's jacked up. I only call a troll stupid. But those guys are just, a troll's a troll. Oh, fuck. Damn marionettes. But yeah, I never diss anybody unless they're dissing first. And that's kind of self-defeating and pointless, but if someone criticizes me in a bad way with malice in the comment and I'm having a bad day, I'll just say fuck you bitch, and then probably block them and mark their comment as spam, which doesn't prevent that same user from making another account and then just becoming somebody else, as we can on the internet. But I don't know, that's what makes them a troll, I guess, because you shouldn't need to make so many usernames because people hate you. It doesn't have to be that way either. You don't have to be hated. You can be liked. It's much better to have people like you, Anyway, I'm not talking about the game, but this is just, you know, the same thing so much over and over again. And fortunately, my Xbox 360 has never froze. Like, whenever I've done like an hour-long victory and I'm heading back to the save point, you know, I would expect it to freeze like just when I'm getting to the save point or something after an hour-long victory. But actually, I wasn't even saving this kind of data. But I don't know. One time I turned it on, and then within like 10 minutes of my having turned it on, it froze. And then 30 minutes later, it froze again. It's so god-awful. I don't know what's going on. It's a brand new game. The system's less than a year old. But that just gives me one more reason to hate the Xbox 360. Oh, is this the last one? Might have been. No. We have one more. I think we have one more left. I think I tried to crotch shoot her. Yeah, I was trying to. I was trying to hit her in the crotch because I'm sick of these bitches. Of course I missed, and then of course this one hit home. That one hit home. So, thanks everybody for listening to my guide. I hope that it helps you clear this trial, and also I hope that it helps you obtain this Lives of the Thousand Gods, which is a very rare item. So we're gonna head on back to the portal, say yes when it asks us if we want to leave, and then we're gonna get our achievement. So everybody take care, and thanks for watching.